Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited about this video because today we're going to be talking with my cousin Michelle Masserini, who's a mental health counselor. She's going to give us a tool to change our behaviors and reach any goal. She's a mental health counselor, so she really knows what she's talking about in this area, so I'm so excited for you guys to meet her. Let's bring her in.
Hey guys! Like Heather said, I'm a licensed mental health counselor, I'm a play therapist, and I'm a trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapist. So basically, all of that means is that I specialize in behavior modification and I deal with this all the time. So Heather and I were talking over some Thanksgiving dinner when we were eating super healthy. I introduced her to what's called the cognitive behavioral triangle. So for short, I'm just going to abbreviate it down to the CBT triangle. Alright guys, sorry if it got a little dark, but I just really wanted you to be able to see the triangle. So just focus on what's in black right now. We have our thoughts, our feelings, and our behaviors as the three parts of the triangle. So we're going to pretend, like really good math students for a second, that this is an equilateral triangle. So if I'm going to change one part of the triangle, I'm going to change all the other parts to have to maintain those angles. Alright guys, Heather and I came up with a really good goal that we hear all the time. I want to lose weight. So now we're going to start focusing on the blue. So we just put in the middle of the triangle, just what I said, I want to lose weight. So some of the thoughts behind that are, I don't have time, it's going to be too hard, what you may be feeling is afraid of starting a new venture, afraid of change, maybe feeling overwhelmed, not sure where to start, how do I do this? And then your behaviors may be that you're eating fast food for lunch, you just don't have time to go a meal plan, you're procrastinating going to the gym, you're like, oh, I'll do it later, and then I never end up doing it. So these are some of the things that made sense to go in this triangle. Okay guys, so now that you've seen the triangle, this is how I explain it in my office. So you can change one part of the triangle and all the other parts have to change. So I always recommend to have clients start by changing their thoughts first, because it's going to be really hard to start changing your behaviors first without processing out all the things that are kind of going on those behaviors, and then trying to process out feelings without either the help of a professional, or if they're too big and they're confusing, that's just going to get way too chaotic. So I always recommend starting by changing the thoughts first. So the thoughts that we had before is it's going to be too hard and I don't have time. Okay guys, so I challenged Heather here to change a part of the triangle just to prove just how easy it is.
If I could do it, then you guys can do it too. So, when it comes to changing a part of the triangle, I'm going to start with thoughts, because Michelle said we want to try changing the thoughts first, and then the others are going to fall into place. So instead of saying, I don't have time, I want to change that to, I'm going to make time because this is a priority for me.
Perfect.
Good. And then instead of, it's going to be hard, I would probably say something like, yeah, it might be hard, but this is a challenge that I'm willing to take on.
Absolutely. I hear that one all the time regardless of the goal, because it's always scary and nerve-wracking to start a new venture, but validating the fact that it is going to be difficult and not just saying this is going to be a cakewalk, this is going to be super easy, I got this, I'm feeling confident, which confidence is great, but it's also good to recognize that it is going to be difficult, but being able to build yourself up and show some resilience of like, yeah, I got this, I'm a superhero.
Totally. And we're not saying this is easy, like just changing your thoughts is something that, oh, okay, I'm just going to now all of a sudden change my thoughts, but it is something that I think you really just have to work on and keep being aware of and conscious of.
It just takes practice. Yeah. Really, it just takes daily practice. I always tell clients, stand in the mirror, and I write in my little prescription pad, stand in the mirror and give yourself 5 daily affirmations, because you've got to train your brain to change your thoughts. And that's exactly what changing our thoughts on this board is going to be exactly like.
If you guys are liking this video so far, I would love if you would click that little red button down below, subscribe to my channel, because I make weekly videos on topics like this, health, nutrition, weight loss, and I would love for you to check out some other ones that I will be putting up.
Do it!
Okay, so when it comes to changing my behaviors, instead of eating fast food for lunch every single day, I might do something like bring leftover dinner from the night before. That way I have a healthy lunch on me at work. Or even if I did eat out, make sure that I have a bunch of healthy options to places I can go to, and that way I can grab something a little bit healthier instead of getting to the point where I'm starving at lunchtime at work and all of a sudden I'm just like, let's hit up McDonald's, not that I would really do that, but instead of going to that fast food option, you'll have a healthy choice already available that will be easy to get to. Or another thing that you can do is meal prep for the week and start small with your goal instead of saying I'm going to meal prep all my meals for the entire week. It's pretty unrealistic for most people, even myself. I would just be like, okay, I'm going to prepare lunch for tomorrow. It could be bringing a leftover dinner. It could be making something up and whipping something up the night before, but making sure I'm prepared at lunch at work, because that's usually a time where we get super distracted and we get to the point where we're hungry and we need to eat something quickly. We don't have that much time. So that's probably what I would do for that behavior. And when it comes to procrastinating exercise, what I would do for this is make it, again, a small goal that I can follow. So it might be something like being prepared with my workout gear, bringing it with me to work. That way I can go straight to the gym right after work and I don't have to worry about going home, because we all know once we get home and sit on our couch, we're not getting back up. So keeping those workout clothes with me in the car, that way I can go straight to the gym after work. Another thing I try and tell people too is, say you want to start walking a little bit more often, you can actually just make a goal to put your sneakers on and walk down the block to your nearest stop sign or whatever it is, and chances are you're going to walk a lot further than that, but just putting on your sneakers and getting out that door is the first step, and that's the first goal that you should focus on. So those are a couple things that I would do to change my behavior if this was my situation.
Yeah, that's awesome. Just set yourself up for success. Like, make it easy. I know we talked earlier about things like validating the fact that things are hard, and it is going to get hard. So really set yourself up to make it as easy as possible, so that when things do get difficult and there are major bumps in the road or even small bumps in the road, make it so that you feel confident enough to get over it, because everything else is already set into place and things are already in motion, literally.
Exactly. I mean, I know goals seem so overwhelming, but it's like, you know, someone that goes to build a house. That house doesn't just appear in one day. Rome wasn't built in one day, right? It's, you have to put all the bricks together and all the piping, and all these things are just small steps that lead to the bigger picture. So you want to look at those small goals that are going to help really create these long-lasting habits. So lastly, after I change my behaviors and after I change my thoughts, my feelings are going to change, right? I'm doing things differently, my thoughts are different about it. So I think instead of my feelings being afraid or overwhelmed, they would be more like curious and excited about this new journey. And that's really how I would start to look at things, and that makes everything so much better.
Yeah, and they're just going to really show up. Like, once you start to learn how to validate yourself and understand your thoughts and learn how to control them, I think that they're really all going to change into much more positive swings. Are you going to have bumps in the road? Absolutely. Would it be weird if you didn't? Absolutely. You know, these things are going to happen. So when I think about this, and just like Heather said, Rome wasn't built in a day, it takes about 21 days to make or break a habit, so you really have to stick with it. If you try it for a week and you feel like nothing's changed, that's okay, because it shouldn't have changed. You should have to really start to work at it. It should be something that you make a thoughtful change, and then as you do it more and more every day, it becomes a thoughtless change, and it just becomes a habit, and it just becomes a part of your life, and before you know it, you've reached your goal and you're kind of on to the next one. But you definitely want to take some time out to celebrate the fact that you've achieved one, and then use this to do all your other goals.
It's all those small wins that add up, and I promise you guys, I work with so many people on this goal of I want to lose weight, and nobody just comes into the office, wants to lose weight, and voila, you lost weight. It doesn't work like that. Yeah. You really have to make the effort, make the changes, change that mindset, and that's when things fall into place for long term. Because that's a big key too. We don't want to lose weight for the next week or two. We want to lose weight for life. That's the whole point of that goal. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. If you thought it was helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. That way me and Michelle can definitely make more videos. I mean, she lives upstate, but when she comes back in town, if there's other topics you guys want us to cover, we'll definitely do that. And leave any questions for us in the comments below. I'll make sure Michelle knows what they are and she can answer them for you too. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.